Hi guys, Jangro here, and welcome to this brand new mod pack and first episode of Valhelsia 5. This is a 1.19.2 mod pack, and I've been waiting for months and months for this, and I'm excited to get started on this mod pack from my favorite mod pack developers, Valhelsia. Sometimes we take a first look, and my goal is to decide whether I want to do more, do a series on it, but I already know that I want to do a series on Valhelsia 5, and that's what we're going to do, so we're going to get going on a Let's Play. Hit that subscribe button so you can keep track of these episodes as they come out. All right, stick around and let's get going. Here we are in our brand new world. We're in a prairie biome. This is pretty cool, but let's just take a quick look around and talk about the different mods that are in this pack. The big ones right now, and this is brand new, first version of Valhelsia 5. So 1.19 mod development is heavy underway, but we've got Applied Energistics 2, Immersive Engineering, Mechanism, Create, Ars Nouveau, Mine Colonies, some smaller ones like Little Logistics and Forbidden Arcanus, which are really great mods. So we've got plenty of content to get started on. Let's grab some carrots. I'm going to take a lesson from some other recent playthroughs that I've done and rush toward getting some storage solutions in place and some automation. So I think we're going to head straight into Applied Energistics and Mechanism so that we're not struggling with storage and crafting and automation for very long. So that's going to be first order of business, I think. Do we want to get up to that village? Looking at the map. Oh, look at this. We've got a meteorite over here. That's Applied Energistics, and a village up there. But that is some unfriendly terrain. When we get up that high in the world, it's going to be a pink sheep. Look at this. If we get higher up in the world, it's going to be a bit easier to find coal and iron. So maybe we should head up on top of that hill. Let's beeline to that village up there. See what we've got. While we're making our way up, let's talk about some of the other mods in here. Some of the tools mods. Sophisticated backpacks, which reminds me, I should be getting leather. Getting a backpack is maybe our absolute first order of business. There's also artifacts. For it brings a ton of really cool items. Night vision goggles, bunny slippers, things like that. We can find those in loot chests around. Like I said, it'll be easier to find coal, and there is some. I haven't even broken a tree yet, but let's see what this village has in store for us. Let's set our spawn point right here. I almost said waypoint. There are waystones in this pack, which hopefully we'll find one in this village. Let's see. Okay, here's some of the food stuff we've got going on here. Neapolitan is in here. Farmer's Delight is the big food mod. And here's some tomato seeds from that. Some chalk. We can mark our way in mines. And for food, Nears is in here as well, which brings a bunch of food items to the nether. Is that it? We've got the rest of our village is down there. Okay. So I guess we had to get over this hill. This is kind of treacherous. Let's see if we can get down here. Let's go ahead and take some fall damage to get down. We can make it. All right, here's the actual village. See these guard villagers help protect the village along with the golems. We're playing on a server, and there are some other people on the server, so we might see some people pop in once in a while. They're going to settle down elsewhere, and we'll check in on them once in a while. I know that they'll be doing some mine colonies. One of them is really great with Create, so we'll be checking out some of those builds. Leather tunic. Okay. We're in a shrubland biome. The biomes mod in this is Biomes of Plenty, but there's also some different dimensions. Blue skies and twilight are both in this as well. So we'll have some other dimensions to look at. Nice. Here's an artifact. Great. And we got some iron. Let's put these claws on. We put them right here in our hand slot, and it gives us a faster attack speed. That's good news. Here's a chance to talk about some of the mobs in here. These some rhinos. I don't think that they'll attack us unless we get too close to their babies. But I'm probably a one-shot for that guy. Let's put on, reminds me. Not that that leather armor will help us. For mobs, there's so many different mods in here. Companions, creatures and beasts, ecologics, woodland traders, guard villagers like we talked about, savage and ravage, which brings in some villager changes, smarter farmers, Sully's mod, the conjurer, creeper overhaul. There's all different kinds of creatures depending what kind of biome we're in. Just grabbing everything. And we can't sleep yet. So there's some mod in here that changes the time that you can sleep. I think the first night we can't sleep until like after 9 p.m. While we're waiting for that, it's this guy. We got a Drigme. All right, we managed to sleep. Now let's take a look at the map. I think that's about it for that village. Since we want to get started on applied energistics, let's head over here and maybe we can settle in this kind of prairie over here where there'll be plenty of mobs, friendly mobs, and it looks like a gatekeeper house. Let's set our view settings and lock the minimap north, and we want to go northeast, but we need to go via the south. So let's go this way and around this mountain and see if we can get to that meteorite crater. This is just ugly terrain here. I do have a saddle. Do I get any wheat, though? We can't tame these guys unless we had some wheat. You know what? Let's grab some hay from this village, and let's see if we can get ourselves a ride. Hello, spider. Daytime spider. The best kinds of spiders. Egg. And probably cook eggs. Get fried eggs from Farmer's Delight, make an egg sandwich. And there's the hay. There's a lot of hay here. We've got so much hay. All right, now let's head back. We lost half the day doing that. Let's also see if we can get ourselves some leather on the way, because that is needed for backpacks. Nothing personal, guys. Just need some leather. All right, so this mountains here is not going to be easy to get past. So let's head back up this way. Let's see if we can get over this hill right here. We did it. There's a pretty cool looking lavender biome up ahead. A redwood forest. Look at this guy. This is a sliff, I think. And over there, that way is a Blue Skies gatekeeper house. That's where we're going to get the portal to get into one of the two Blue Skies dimensions. But let's make a beeline for that meteorite, which was right through that guy's house, but that's a big cliff. So let's see if we can get around here. Wow, this is pretty over here. This could make a nice home. Here we are back in the prairie. That meteorite is up on top of this plateau here, apparently. Let's go check it out. All right, here's the meteorite. And since it's nighttime and I see a house, let's head down to this gatekeeper. Maybe we could live right here. This is a pretty nice spot. Where is the door? There it is. I walked right by it. You got a bed, sir? You've got some useful stuff, and especially your bed. I can't take his bed. Okay, I'm going to have to force your bed. I like this spot. We got a meteorite right up the hill. Ready-made house. Let's call it home. Hope you don't mind, friend. Okay, here we are at our base. We've spent some time here and we built a base into the mountain. We'll check that out in a second. I've spent many hours, so this would be a long video if I showed you all the stuff I've been doing. I've got some cows. We've harvested some leather from them, so that's why there's just babies left. We've got a garden going over here. I've been collecting all of the Farmer's Delight, the different modded crops that we can get. We've got them planted over here. Here's some industrial hemp from Immersive Engineering. We'll be talking about that in a minute. Cabbage, tomatoes, vanilla stuff, onions. So we've got some good crops going here. We've got this sliff thing attending to our crops. I don't know if it's actually doing anything. It like sparkles when it gets close to the ground, but I don't know. I don't know what they do. Heading back, we've got our gatekeeper. This is our entry into the Blue Skies dimensions. And there's two different gatekeepers. And let's talk to him. With a book, we can get his journal, which is the starting guide for that. And we'll need this lighter, which is kind of like a flint and steel for these special Blue Skies portals. Here's our humble base. I have managed to do some mining. We've got a bunch of iron, a bunch of osmium, which we need to get into mechanism. Copper also needed to get into mechanism, plus many other ores, anything that we can find. Underneath our base is crazy. It's basically a giant spider's nest. You take a peek down here. There's a spawner, a spider spawner. Those are spider eggs. There's spider stuff everywhere. You can see these like hanging cobwebs or whatever. Hanging cobweb strands, spider strings going everywhere. So that's kind of nuts. And we have gone all the way down, again, all this stuff. We've gone all the way down to bedrock where we've been doing some mining. That's not very interesting down there. Structures go away, but tons of caves where we pretty much cleaned out these caves of their ores. We found a few diamonds. Here's some iron. Let's grab that. But there's all this spidery stuff down here in this giant spider's nest. You get down deep here, there's a lot of uranium ore, which I think we're going to use later in mechanism when we get into nuclear power. So we don't... There's a skeleton. We've had our share of battles. Oh, here's a spider nest. Spider egg, rather. If I break this, we're gonna get a cave spider coming out, so we're not gonna do that. Okay. That's pretty scary. How do we get out of here? I think it's this way. Yes. Here is our way out. There's also a mine shaft around here as well that we kind of cleaned out. It's massive. I'm not sure I even got to everything. Let's take a look at one more thing before we get started into some modded stuff. Well, actually, this is a modded thing. We also kind of processed our meteorite. So if you recall, up on top of this hill is a meteorite, and we've cleaned it out. This is what you end up with on the inside of a meteorite. The skystone itself, you need an iron pickaxe to mine, but it's super slow with iron. With a diamond, it's fast. So if you can wait until you get a diamond pickaxe before you start to take out this stuff, you'll be better off for it. Now, these quartz blocks, this is new to Applied Energistics 2 in version 1.19, I believe. Previously, inside a meteorite was Fluix cubes and a skystone chest that had these these presses in them. Now, when you break into this meteorite, you're going to see these quartz blocks, some quartz clusters around here, and in the middle is going to be, I think it's called a mysterious cube. When you break it, you get all 4 of these presses. Now, these budding Certus quartz and quartz blocks are new. If you see a quartz block in here, you can break that and take the quartz block, and that quartz block you can turn into quartz crystal, Certus quartz crystal. But these budding Certus quartz, don't break them, because they're just like amethyst. They grow Certus quartz clusters on them. And the small ones, there's also like there's flawless, damaged, like different levels of damage on these things. And I think maybe they degrade over time the more you break things off of them. So if you've got a full Certus quartz cluster like this here, break that, you're going to get 4 Certus quartz crystals. And you can just keep harvesting these things. So if you can keep these things intact, you can't move them with Silk Touch. Now these smaller ones will give you, I'm going to let these grow, but these smaller ones, if you could break them before they grow, you're going to get Certus quartz dust. But these clusters we can break and get the Certus quartz from them. So there we go. We've got 20 Certus quartz crystals. These are the things we need to get started with Applied Energistics 2. So we're lucky we've got this right by our base. You can craft those Certus quartz blocks to grow your own Certus quartz by throwing some charged Certus quartz and something else into some water, and they'll grow for you. So you can get your own. So if you don't happen to have a meteorite near your base, no big deal. You can just get some Certus quartz and make your own. For the rest of this episode, I want to just scratch the surface on a couple of really early things you can do with some of the mods in here. We're going to use Create to make a mechanical saw right here and operate that by hand, and we can cut down entire whole trees. So that's going to save us a lot of axes. But for that, we need iron plates. And making iron plates in Create is a little bit involved. It doesn't take much. You need a mechanical press for that. However, we can make these iron plates with an engineer's hammer from Immersive Engineering. So we don't need to build a machine to do that. We can just use this hammer. And for that, we need just some iron sticks and string. And Immersive Engineering gives us a nice, easy way to get string as well. So if we head on over to our crops over here, and if we harvest some of this industrial hemp, and you get these seeds for industrial hemp just by breaking grass. They're everywhere. And if we just break the tops off these plants, we get more seeds, and we get industrial hemp fiber. Now this industrial hemp fiber we can turn into string. Immersive Engineering is a really great mod. You're going to want to craft the book for that, but let's start by let's get this string going. Let's put some of these things away. We don't need this stuff. And the string, it's 3 industrial hemp fibers give you a string. And if we take some of our iron here, we've got some sticks, and now we can make a hammer. It gets like this. Didn't grab enough iron. 2. Is that it? Yes. And now we have an engineer's hammer. Now let's make a quick book for Immersive Engineering. We need a lever and a book. To get paper, we can do the sugarcane thing, but let's make a Farmer's Delight cutting board. And with that, we can strip logs and get bark, and we can make paper out of the bark. Pretty soon, cutting down trees with an axe is going to be a thing of the past. All right, let's put this right here, and on top of that, we'll put our cutting board. We take some logs and put some logs in our offhand and an axe in our hand. We right click and we can just hold down right click, and we can process all these logs and we get bark. Tree bark we can use to make paper. And now we can make a book. And with a lever and a book, we can make an engineer's manual. And this is one book you definitely want to read. It tells you all about it. Most of the machines I'm not going to go into this too much, but most of the machines are multi-block structures, and you need this book to help figure out how to build those things. And they're really, really cool. Okay, but all we need right now is the hammer, because we need some plates to make the mechanical saw. In addition to these iron sheets or iron plates, we need andesite casing. So we need to make some andesite alloy, and we hit stripped log with andesite alloy and we get andesite casing. And fortunately, we have a bunch of stripped logs already. Let's make a bunch of casings out of this. But we need to make andesite alloy. And for that, we need some andesite. Come over here to this chest. Let's clean out some of these blocks. And we've got some zinc, which we will cook. Because we need either zinc nuggets or iron nuggets. But I'm going to use the zinc nuggets for the andesite alloy. This should be enough for now. We don't need very many. Oh, so we take the zinc like this, I believe, and the andesite like this. We get andesite alloy. We balance that out. We'll be able to get 9 of them. And if we hit right click on these logs with the andesite alloy, we make andesite casings. And now we simply put some iron in here with a hammer, and we get iron plates. And now we can make a mechanical saw. Just need a couple more pieces of iron. And there we go, mechanical saw. Now we need rotational power to operate this saw. However, we can do this manually for the very first bit of it with a hand crank, which we just need some more andesite alloy, did I use it all up? I did, sadly. Okay. Well, we've got iron here. Let's just take some iron nuggets and make a little bit more andesite alloy. And now we can make our hand crank. And if we put the saw down like this and the hand crank right here, and just right click, we can operate that. And what's great about this mechanical saw is that we can cut down entire trees with it. And if we happen to have a big giant tree, it will cut down the whole thing. So if we shift right click to place it, it'll place it facing the opposite direction. And we put the crank on here. And you can see it's breaking that bottom bit of the tree, and it did the whole thing. Over here, I planted a whole bunch of oak trees. And in order to break an entire large tree, it has to have just one block on the bottom. So I made this big, giant 3 by, 9 oak tree. But we have to prep it. Actually, I think we might be able to do a sneaky trick here. So let me show you here. If we do this on a tree that has multiple logs on the ground, it doesn't break the whole thing. It needs to do that to the very last log. But I'm going to try this right here and see if we can fake it out into thinking that this whole thing is a tree right here. I'm not sure if it has to have grown, but let's try this right here. So now we've made a tree with one log in the base. Let's see if it'll break the whole thing. Yes. All right. Amazing. All right, let me go clean out my inventory. I'll come back for that, and we're going to go on a bit of a lumber trip. All right, good morning. Let's grab for the rest of the stuff that fell here. And over in the distance, we have some very tall trees. I don't know if they're redwoods or what. They're massive. Let's take out this big one right here. Now, we learned that we can't break just this bottom one here. It needs to be a single log. But if we just take a single log and make a new bottom of this tree that's just one log. Yeah, these are redwoods. Seems that we can this whole thing down by breaking this. There it is. Now it fell all the way over in this direction. So if we were far away, we'd be able to see this tree fall. It actually falls like like the tree falls down. You can see how far it reached. All the way up here. This is how tall that tree was, apparently. We'll leave those logs there. It fell all the way over here. I wish we could see it. I think that's everything. Let's grab our saw. And that was good for 5+ stacks of redwood logs. I want to see if we can see this tree fall. That is just really fun. Let's cut down a small one. Let's do it from over here. We're going to have to get one of our server mates to show us how a redwood looks when it falls. All right, let's head back. That's a lot of redwood. Okay, and here we are back home again with our multiple stacks of redwood. Like I said, we just scratched the surface with the modded stuff. We're going to set up actual automated tree farming so we don't have to even turn a hand crank with Create. We're going to get into immersive engineering, applied energistics, mechanism. I've got all of these ores, these raw ores saved up because we're going to double these with mechanism. So if I just smelted those, we're just going to get, one. In Minecraft 1.17, the modded ore doubling, tripling, quadrupling business kind of got turned upside down because of raw ores. But we can still double raw ore with mechanism. You should be able to get 5 times ore processing with mechanism, but now with fortune pickaxe we can get like 3+ times with a fortune 3 on ores, but we can still double. And I think longer game in mechanism we can get 2.7 times ore processing, and we're going to talk about that I think in the next episode. So until then, I hope you enjoyed this first look at Valhelsia 5. They're going to add a whole bunch more mods to this as time goes on. It's available now on CurseForge. Go grab it. This is going to be fun. So we're going to do a let's play on Valhelsia 5. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please like the video. And to keep up with this series, please subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.